Hey y'all, it is still Wednesday, December 18th, and we're going to keep it rolling. All right, before I continue, can I just share with y'all the karmic moment of Mr. Bert on meth? Remember that dude? I showed pictures on my TikTok. The dude in the Bert and Ernie shirt looks like he can't dress himself, has a little problem. The Steeple People place spent a lot of their untaxed dollars to put him back into a school board seat. He's a homeschooler. He's an extremist. J6. A whole seriously. All right. And I've been so mad that he squeaked his ass back in there by appealing to the alcoholics that live out in the vineyards because those are his people. However, and this is the thing that I keep saying when we talk about steeple people being in charge, is reminding everyone that these folks have thousands of denominations and none of them agree on the small details. So often when I use the term steeple people, I am talking about organized, institutionalized, aggressive religion, places where Past is given his sermon in a bulletproof vest, okay? Places where they're feeding you nothing but fear and hate and anger and channeling that towards groups of people and telling you need to get political and telling you need to be offended all the time. And, those are steeple people, that capitalism, dollar worshiping, fear mongering, misogynistic, racist, all American faith. Steeple people. All right. That's not the same as personal faith and people who are believers, who have their own code and morals and ethics, but they're not trying to force their beliefs on other people. They're not trying to look at people in bathrooms. They're not trying to do anything weird or creepy. They just want to be a good person for their own reasons. And I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with that. Most people are. The problem is the steeple people are ruining it for the rest of you, and they have no problem claiming y'all. While the good ones are like, those aren't us. Those don't count. Those guys are like, yeah, we do. In fact, we're the real ones. How about that? So, this is a thing that y'all have to kind of control for yourselves because you want us to discern who's who, and that's not our job. That's your camp. So, you don't want them embarrassing you? Y'all have to come down harder on them. Because if we do it, then we're just persecuting the faith. It has to come from other sides of the same faith to say, hey, y'all need to get it together. You're making the rest of us look a little yoo-hoo. All right. But anyway, the point was they ran a misleading campaign. They fundraised out of the state. They used their untaxed church dollars. I mean, they did everything they could. They aligned themselves with Dumpty Loyalists. I mean, everything they could to get this guy back in the seat in the hopes that he, along with other religious folks that they were endorsing as people that would back them, that they would then have control and would be able to enact all the shit they tried to do before we were able to recall the guy last time. And little surprise, the people that they were supporting as, hey, they're also religious, so they're going to fall in line with us, so we're fine endorsing them. Well, they had their first meeting on Tuesday, and surprise, the two new ones are not that level crazy. Ooh. So real quick, these people found out that, sure, they might have spent all that time and money putting that dude back in the seat, but they're not going to be able to enact a lot of the most disgusting of what their plan was, a lot of the most wasteful of what their plan was. At least it doesn't look like it. We'll see. These people could flip, but I don't think so. I think even though they're all, on that steeple people tip, and I'm not a fan of that being so heavily in public school board. I don't need that. So I'm fine with it when it's a personal faith, and I'm hoping that the new people coming in view it that way. This is our personal faith. This is how we feel, but we are not trying to push it on every child in the school, because that's not what we do. Okay, send your kid to Christian school if that's what you want. We hope. We don't know. It was just their first meeting, but at the very least, and I hope, if nothing else, they've realized that by attaching themselves to the crazies, they are also being aligned with the crazies. And people like me will absolutely talk about it as much as I need to on my channels to make sure people know who they are, who they're affiliated with, the names, the steeple people places, so that folks know what is up. So I hope that they smelt that coming and said, we cannot affiliate ourselves with these people or we will get hit with the same stink. And so they went to that meeting and were like, yeah, we're not here to bow to you. We're not here to answer to you. We're here for our own platforms that we came on. We have our own ideals that we're standing for, and we're not interested with aligning ourselves with the 412 backed group that's getting a lot of public ire and whose entire purpose is just to come in here, make a mess, waste taxpayer dollars, and try to start fights with Gavin Newsom so that the Joker Joe Komrosky can try to launch a political career for himself by depriving the students of things and trying to get the attention of Sacramento. And they had a good old SteeplePeople tantrum where Blondie Jen Wiersma, who has amassed a local army of bored, drunken housewives to come to her defense whenever she tweets from her empty car in a parking lot or records video about how she's being mistreated or prosecuted for her faith and beliefs. And she just wants to read a letter that this Christian lawyer wrote for her. She just wants to enact this horrible thing that everyone disagrees with, but it's her faith and she should be able to do it because she's blind and blue and faithful and flag. And it didn't work. And she was like, oh, but I thought we were friends. I cultivated a 9-month relationship, and this is how you treat me? You don't want to vote for me for board president? Like, oh, my God, just... So, I mean, like I said, we'll see what happens. I might have shit to say about the people that came in as well, but so far, the 2 new members that came in, along with the recalled guy getting back in, they seem to not want the smoke. And combined with Stephen Schwartz, who is the longest running member of that board, who in my opinion should have been president, but that's neither here nor there. And if he didn't want it, I understand, because I'm the kind of person that like folks are like, you should do this. And I'm like, I do not want it. I do not want that. No. And I know then people say that's exactly why you should have it. Because I would say that to Stephen, like, that's exactly why it should be you, man. So like, I get it. So we'll see what happens, but it is interesting to see that just that quickly, the air got taken out of those sails and they got put in check real quick. And a lot of money went into getting that guy back in the seat. And looks like he's not going to be able to do a lot of what he wanted to do with his personal agenda. He's just going to be a background player trying to be loud and kick up dust. But he's not the president and their team doesn't have the numbers. So we're hoping for a kind of boring 2 years and then to get out the people that we need to get out in 2 years and put folks who are not interested in making their personal belief system and their personal political system the center of everything they want to do with the fucking public school district. And yes, I will be rubbing it in the faces of all the houses with their fucking Komrosky yard signs that were so proud of themselves. Like I keep saying, in this town, the houses that had the most signs for that guy, who is an offender protector, do not get me wrong. Anyone aligned with IE Family Pack is an offender protector, okay? Pastor's brother is a convicted pedophile. Attraction to persons under 3. He lives here in this town. The church employs his wife. They protect him here. So anyone who is affiliated with IE Family Pack, including Joe Komrosky and John Cobb and all those people, Jen Wiersma, Jessica Alexander, they are offender protectors that should not be anywhere near children. But of course, they all live right around the elementary school, and they are the houses, that have the most Christmas decorations. There's Santa going up 2 chimneys. The whole yard looks like a winter wonderland. And those are the ones that I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, you're the last person that anyone should be bringing their children around. Like, you're the least safe person on the block. So, of course, you've got the most child-friendly looking display. But yeah, that was interesting. That was my rant. Sorry for those who aren't local. That might have been a boring one, or maybe you tuned out. But for those of you who are local, it was delicious. And yeah, we will see what happens moving forward. But air out of the sails, I'll take that for a start. Absolutely.